All right, y'all, I want to talk about something. This is going to be an unpopular opinion video, okay? Because I understand that a lot of women relate to the Cassie story, and I relate to it because I have sisters. I got a family member who has dealt with abuse, and I think just being a woman is kind of like while we're dating and whatnot, it comes along, it seems to come along with the territory, right? And then we talk about sexual abuse. So let me give my disclaimer before we get started. Welcome to my channel. This is God Loves Couture. My disclaimer is this. My disclaimer is no means no. Consensual sex has to be consensual every time, every encounter, each time, anytime the woman changes her mind and says no means no, it means no. Okay, let's get that out the way. Now, alrighty, you guys, I put Cassie's thumbnail and I put Kim Porter's thumbnail up in the thumbnail because I want you guys to know that, you know, we talk about preferences a lot in social media, and you got to be the preference, you got to be the baddie, and we got to be all these things. And this is what kept ringing in my head when I kept listening to the court case and Cassie's testimony. You can be a man's preference and still be treated bad. And the reason being is him being attracted to you. Someone can be sexually attracted to you and they still don't know how to treat you. And because you are a beautiful woman, it will not supersede. It will not supersede. Your beauty will not supersede his character. It will not. All it would do is make you first line up. You'll be first in the lineup to be the next example, okay? I kept thinking about this, like, wow, what is Cassie gonna tell her kids? What is Cassie gonna tell her daughters when they get older and they start dating? What is she gonna tell her girls about men and beauty and how much investment to put in that and how to vet a guy, you know? What is she going to tell them about when it's, you know, should you look at his pockets? I would love to know her thoughts about the industry, about men, all this afterwards, okay? Cassie went on to leave the hip hop mogul and then marry the trainer. There's so many ironies in this storyline that, you know, I feel like even in her being like an old woman, one day she'll be an old woman and she'll be in a grocery store. And I feel like one of his songs will come on the radio and she probably would just be like, it'd be one of those things that I pray for her that she'll be able to go on and live a good life. But it's one of those lessons that I feel like most women have that one boyfriend that is like, oh my goodness, what was I thinking about, right? And I think this is a great story for young women and for women to think about when we are chasing the bag or when we're chasing his bag, or you feel like sprinkle, okay? I don't know what all that means, okay? These are things that I hear on the net because there's certain channels that be promoting, go get that guy with the bag. Here's what I'm saying. I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman wanting to be provided for. I think it's woman's nature that it's a biological need that she wants to be protected and she wants to be provided for, okay? I kept looking at this Cassie and Diddy situation like, what is the irony that both of those women, Cassie and Kim, were his preference at one time? Both of those women got the same dude. They got the same man. One of those women had children with him, okay? One of those women had children. One of those women are no longer here on this earth. Her children are now with him, okay? The other woman went on to marry another man, the trainer she met through this man. There are a lot of things going on, but I wanted to do this video because it goes to show you that a beautiful woman has to have a lot of discretion. She has to have, she can't be a mind reader, of course. You can't know everything about everybody at first meeting. But I think a beautiful woman, I think women, period, have to be discerning, because we are potential prey, possible prey to the wrong man, that we have to be better vetters. We have to date in community. We cannot always be looking at the bag. Do you guys know there are a group of women right now that will still want to be with Diddy, even though all of his past has been put up? There is still a woman out there that will say, I'll sign up for it. I still want to be a part of that club. I would still want to try to date him. Diddy is one of many men in that industry, and probably there are many men, poor, rich or poor, who are attracted to beautiful women. Beautiful women are objectified for sex more. Both of those women are models. Both of them are models, and models are highly objectified and they're highly sexualized. Okay, so think the industry that they're in. Their bodies are pretty much, it's for business. You're selling sex all the time, okay? Through clothes, through campaigns. You're gonna meet different men, which is probably Cassie and Diddy, and they probably met all sorts of men who see them as accessories. The arm candy, the trophy. Arm candy is trophy, the trophy wife. Cassie, neither one of the women got to marry him because I think he knew he wasn't on that time and he's about some other stuff. So I feel like Diddy probably would have had enough common sense to know it don't make no sense for me to get married, because for what? So I can pay you out some alimony for no reason when I know I'm not going to be ever faithful. I think he's smarter in some ways and dumb in some other ways. But back to the beauty, the hidden cost of beauty. The hidden cost of beauty is this. Because more people find you to be attractive, more people find you to be sexual because of that attraction. You are going to come across, I think, more men. I shouldn't say that. I want to believe that more men are going to sexualize you, okay? And what they're doing already, just like with Cassie, they're saying, Cassie, hey, she wanted it. Okay, here's the thing. Cassie, in my opinion, tried to play the system, okay? She's a beautiful woman and she's an exotic woman, okay? She tried to play the system in this way. She knows that she's a beautiful girl, a beautiful woman that a lot of men like. Black men esteem her aesthetic. Non-black men esteem her aesthetic, but especially in the hip hop and rap culture, in black entertainment, they esteem her aesthetic. Does that mean she deserves to be abused? No, it doesn't. It means that she's going to come across more men than not who are going to want to go to bed with her. They're going to they probably will see her like Diddy in that she's the arm candy. You're going to have a beautiful girl that you can have sex with, which rightfully so, a man who is heterosexual should be attracted to a beautiful woman. But the irony of this case is she was, quote, the preference. And in this case, it shows us that the preference is not always treated better, but the first to get bad treatment, okay? On the outside, the optics, I cannot get over the optics of this case. Do we think that Cassie will be, it's more believable? Okay, the optics is Cassie's pregnant. She's a pregnant woman, a beautiful pregnant woman who is going against the big black man, Okay, I hate to say it like that, but yeah, we're just talking about optics right now. She's going to get against the big black man. She's a biracial, a multicultural woman. Do we think, this is another question that I know I'm jumping all over everywhere. Do we think that her aesthetics will play a part in her being a victim? Because sometimes when a woman is beautiful, they can sexualize you. And they can also it can also work in your favor in making you be the victim. Okay, people will be more sympathetic because this poor girl, she's going against the big black man. Now this big black man do deserve it. Okay, in this case, he really do deserve it. But I'm just talking about optics. Do we think a multicultural woman pregnant, a beautiful multicultural woman pregnant, will go over well with the jury to go against him? Do you guys think that if Kim Porter did the same case, if Kim Porter was switched out with Cassie and she was alive, do you think the audience would be the same? Do you think we sympathize with black women if she looked like Kim Porter? Okay, if she looked like Kim Porter, do we think that she would be sympathized with the same way? Or do you guys think that Diddy is such a monster that no matter what the lady looked like, he's pretty much, the nail is in the coffin? These are things that I've thought about. I think about Diddy's daughters. What do you think about your dad who exploits and do these things to women as a young girl? What that must do to how do you reconcile that? How do you view men and dating when you hear such vile things around your brothers, around your dad, around his conquest, the ladies, the women around him in the industry? That must shape you to a certain, it has to. You're impressionable. I think that Diddy's daughters is a year older than what Cassie was when she met Diddy. I think about that, right? He had his daughters in the courtroom. For what reason, I don't understand. To show support, I wouldn't want to show that support right now. When you're telling your preference is on the stand and she's talking about how you introduced other men to her. She wanted to show her love for you by being okay with the freak offs, and they are teenage girls, his daughters. Other men, you introduce other men to golden shower her, let me say it like that, to climax in her mouth, so much so that she had mouth sores. I keep thinking, what is the irony that you can be a man's preference on the red carpet? He was trotting her around the red carpet. They show you him and her at the Met Gala. This is called the preference, guys. This is what you do with the preference. You introduce other men to her to have sex with your preference that you on one hand think that she is the it girl, because I don't know if you guys understand optics in Hollywood and black men, and that it's very rare that a black man be on the red carpet with a monoracial black woman and he esteem her to be the armed candy. That doesn't happen a lot, I don't think. And so Cassie, in my mind, represents the woman that is esteemed so-called in the industry, that she has the right look. But the woman is such the preference that behind closed doors, you abuse her. And so it goes to show you that sometimes you can be the preference, okay? Just like Kim was the preference at one time. He had children with her. You can be the preference and still be treated bad behind closed doors. If that is not a mind boggler kind of concept, he can showcase you in person to say, look at what I got. Because technically, rich men have arm candy to show status, as this is what the top man can get. And so it just goes to show us that all that glitters is not gold. I believe Hollywood is all optics, all optics. What would Cassie tell her daughters as they get older? What would Cassie tell her husband? The irony of being with the top mogul guy and being okay with freak offs. I'm not shaming her. What I'm trying to tell you is there are some women who believe, they have the thinking that it is better to cry in the Maybach or cry in the Mercedes opposed to the Chevrolet. I don't knock any woman to want to be protected and to be provided for. I want this to be a warning to all women. You can have the right looks. You can be the baddie. You can be an attractive woman. But if you put the attraction and if you put your looks over his character and you choose to ignore his character, and you put the lifestyle and the riches over your integrity, it can cost you. It may cost you. So at the end of the day, it says a beautiful woman without discretion is like a pig with the earring in its snout. A beautiful woman without discretion. I pray that she's able to get over this and go on with her life. But what a lesson to learn. Let it be a warning to other women who your looks, your beauty is just like money to a rich man. There's a responsibility that even, yes, you are a beautiful woman, but sometimes women can sign up for things and they think they're going, I want the top dog. Sometimes the cost may be deadly. Sometimes the cost might cost your livelihood because we're putting the optics, the beauty, the luxurious things over our self-respect. I hope this helps. This is God Loves Couture. Bye.